This video is going to show you how to manually install a niche profit blog. It's configured and saved in the Backup Buddy format to make it easy to install. But there are a few things you're going to need to know how to do within cPanel. The first thing you're going to need to know how to do is to create a database, which is very simple. And the second thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to know how to use the file manager, upload a couple files, and make one change to the WP config file. Don't let any of this scare you. We'll take you through it step by step. First step is I have a domain here that I purchased called La Mesa Dog Training. It's not unusual for me to pick a local town or city. It's easy to compete and make affiliate money off of it. It's called local affiliate marketing. Works very well for me anyhow. And I'm just going to log into cPanel. You're looking at what it looks like right now. The hosting is set up already, so when you go to the domain and there's nothing there, you see the CGI bin. That's what we want to see right now. So I'm just simply going to go into cPanel. You should have all this information from your host. And I've already logged in, so it didn't ask me for my login information. Step one is to create a database. Use the find utility data. I'm using a HostGator account. We highly recommend HostGator or BrainHost. BrainHost will actually do installations for you, but they all have the same cPanel. Any site that doesn't have cPanel, you're going to have to get instructions on how to do this from your host. So first thing we want to do is go to your database and create a database. You click on the MySQL database. The database name has to be something you remember. It always includes this, what we call a prefix here. And I'm just going to create the name data. Very simple to remember that way. Click create database. It will go out and create the database. And when it says it's done, you're done creating the database. Okay? Now I want to copy this without the dot at the end, without the period, because we're going to need this later on when we go to do the installation. Third time's a charm, eh? So click on the go back button. And now we have to create a user for that database. So you have a database and then a user for the database. And when you do that, you want to make sure, I always make it the same exact file name. I call the database data and the user data. That's fine to do it that way. Matter of fact, if you use Fantastico, that's exactly what it would do for WordPress. And you can see I created a password. You're going to need to know that password as well. Great. So here we are. We now have a database and a user, but we need to actually attach the user to the database. And then that's where you do that. You select the user and the database, and then you click on the add button. When you do that, it's going to ask you for what privileges this database is going to give this user. You select all privileges and then select make changes. Okay, we now have a new database and we now have everything set up. We got the user attached to the database. So the next step is to actually upload the files that we're going to be using for our installation process. Now, there are two ways of doing this. One is by using the file manager, and the other is by using FTP. I'm going to demonstrate how to do it with file manager. So to do it with file manager within cPanel, you just go to find, type in the word file. It's going to pop up right next to you. You always want to use the file manager. Always want to see hidden files. In case you got to change something. You won't with this installation, but as a practice, I always want to make sure I see the hidden files, because there's a file called .htaccess that can be corrupted, and it makes it easy to actually fix that corrupted file if something happens. Shouldn't happen with the installation. Currently, we only have the CGI bin. Now, I'm going to demonstrate this for you so you understand what you're looking at. If we go to the domain name itself, not in the cPanel, you see right here it says CGI bin. That's that folder in the file manager. So what we're going to do is we're going to upload two files. I'm going to click on the upload, And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to browse down to my desktop, and I'm going to go look at the MPB backup files, and I'm going to pick the one that's on dog training in here. I got a bunch of them here. There we go. You don't unzip the file, you leave it alone. And then we also got to upload a file called Import Buddy. You have to download that separately and do the install from there. I always have a hard time finding this file. I don't know why. There it is, Import Buddy. Got a lot of stuff on my desktop while I'm making this video, so I apologize for that. Okay, now you can see that it's completely uploaded Import Buddy, and it's completely uploaded the website itself, the theme. So I'm going to come over and then just refresh this, and you're going to see now, in addition to CGI bin, you got the Import Buddy and the theme. And if we go back over to the file manager and tell it to reload, you're going to see the same thing. But you now see this .htaccess file, which is a hidden file. You don't see there. That's all that allowed to see hidden files does. Okay, so now we're ready to actually build the site. You select the Import Buddy link. Okay, very good. It's going to automatically find the zip file that you uploaded. That's this file right here. That's your backup. You tell it to go next. You're migrating it from my server to your server. So that's a migration of new server. So you click next again. And then it's going to go through and do an extraction of the file. You might see a little bit of an error message saying it's got to use the slower form. But as long as it comes back and says file extracted, everything's been done right. Then you click next step. Now we paste that into the database field name. And since we use the same thing for our username, we do that. And you can remember I named my database password demo1234. I highly recommend you use something different than that. Then the first thing we want to do to prevent any problems is always check to make sure there's no spaces after these or before these, any weird characters. But we always want to test the database, and here you can see successful. So all I need to do now is click the next button, and it's actually going to rebuild the website on this new server. It's done. You just delete the migration files. Don't let these little error messages scare you. It doesn't really mean anything, because when we go to the site, there it is in all its glory. Now, if you try to log into the site, you're going to have a problem. There's one final step here that's critical you got to do. So let's go to File Manager, and we'll take care of that right now. Okay, we need to reload the File Manager in the root directory. Now you can see all the stuff it's loaded. Here's the domain name that we've moved this to. We just got to tell the system that that's the new domain name. And to do that, we simply go into wp-config.php, hit Code Editor, and there's two spots where you have to change that. And they're clearly marked, change this to your own. Important piece of information here. Do not keep that trailing slash. Okay, this is very important. Let me repeat that. When you put your domain name in there, make sure there is no trailing slash here. It should go dot whatever and then the apostrophe. You don't need to change anything else in this file. Just save it. Okay, now you're going to log into WP Admin, and your username is going to be admin. Your password is going to be demo1234. It'll log in. Okay, we're here. Step one, as soon as you log in, you go to Users, go to Admin, Edit, type in your email address, no matter what it says there. log down here and create your own password. Update your profile. The next thing you got to do, very quickly, and please do this, it's very important, you're going to want to go over to your settings, your permalinks, and just select save. Then you go out, look at your site. Everything looks good. Click on one of the links. Make sure it works. La Mesa Dog Training, everything is great. That's it. Now, the final step is you got to change the monetization. Right now, this has got my AdSense and my ClickBank stuff. So to do that, you only have to go to one spot with this theme. You go to the Revolutions Lifestyle option right here. And you have to change that ID right here from B. McRae to whatever your ClickBank ID is. Same with this one right here. And then in two spots, you have to change your AdSense ID right here and right here. Save those changes, you're done. If you own AutoTraffic Nirvana, also called Emerald 11, we've already installed the software. In order to use the software, you click on Edit Settings, and then whatever your activation email address is, you add it here and it will automatically activate your backlinking software. This automatically builds all your backlinks for you. The only other thing you may want to do is add a content system in like WP Robot in order to continuously post content to this blog. I would highly recommend you do that for the best results.